Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on the YouTube. Dave here in the garage, the bomb truck. Still, we'll be back on the old Area 51 hopefully soon, but we've still got a few things to dial in on this before we kind of, I'm happy with it, with the mystery motor. So let's get at it. Okay, so in the last couple of videos, we got the motor in, got it running in the last one. Still seems to be holding coolant in that, hopefully. I have to check that properly. But we have a couple of little issues. One messy issue being the power steering lines, the fancy new AN ones that I built. One of them is leaking, so I want to pull that out and redo that and see if I can stop it leaking. There's a rocker cover leak and there's rattle and there's some tuning stuff. So bought myself a new timing light that's in there. It's got one of those, it's probably broken now, but it's got one of those dial back doodackies on it, and I know some people don't like them, but I just wanted to kind of try it and see how we can kind of see where we're at. 'Cause my other timing light has kind of been through a mechanical fan at one stage, so it's a bit it's a bit kind of dodgy. And yeah, and then finish hopefully putting this thing back together, and then we can figure out what we're doing with that, which is the remnants of the 383, or some of it. The rest of it's up over on the bench over there. Yeah, then we'll have a running, driving bomb truck again, hopefully. It runs and drives. But yeah, there's a couple of things we just got to address before we go too far. So I'm going to get this thing jacked up off the ground and start pulling that power steering line out again. It should be easier now with the AN fittings, but of course I made a fancy clamp, didn't I, to go and hold it all in place and things like that. So now I have to undo all that again. So let's get under there or get it up in the air and yeah, do it. I'm going to double jack this because it's low. Just use this little jack to get it started somewhere. How do I normally do it? Go back a bit further. You didn't watch last week, that was the balancer off the flex plate, ring gear, flywheel, whatever you want to call it, on the 383 version, which didn't work on the 350. So we learned something new last week, that the 383s, 400s externally balanced, and 350 not. And smaller 327s and stuff like that. Apparently, I don't know that 100% certain, but the result was got rid of the vibration by cutting that carefully off the ring gear. So now let's get under here and have a look see. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so under here we have, this is our high pressure line here. Last week I noticed there was like a build up of fluid here. You can see where it's dripping off here. I did have this tray under here. You can see where it's been landing on the tray. And it's probably slowed down because I don't think there's much left in it. So I've got to drain this, which I can probably do by just discoing that, putting a container under here, undo that and disconnect it up the top, and take it back out. And it's the 90-degree end where I've got the problem. There's still a little drip there. I'm pretty sure these hard lines are pretty tight now. I've had no new drips on them, so hopefully they're all good. So what I need, a container and spanner. Got a container and a spanner. Hopefully I can get this undone. Just give this a bit of a turn. Come on, get on there. Oh, missed the container. Okay, so my plan was just to kind of drain it from this end. This might take a while. I should have taken the cap off the reservoir as well, but I forgot. Might go and do that. Well, go and get some more spanners and stuff to undo the other end. Oh, the little bracket. Yeah, so took the lid off the reservoir and she's going now. So we need, it doesn't go there, 10mm and 10mm sockets and spanners. Get a snip. And can I do this? I can't actually get a spanner. How did I even get this done up? It's not very tight, so maybe I didn't do it up very well. Maybe I need a little shorty socket or some sort. Oh, she's still coming. I can't reach my rag. Yeah. Right. Got it. Okay, so got that undone. Might go and undo it from the top. Okay, so you can see the high pressure line up there. You can see the bottom of the power steering pump. See that there's a little drip right there. I've always had a drip there and never been able to get it to stop. And a while back, I don't know if any of you guys watch Puddin's Fab Shop on YouTube. He was doing a 64 Impala, and he went through, I don't know how many power steering pumps. He kept taking them back to the shop, and then he discovered it was the kind of aftermarket later model ones he couldn't get to seal up, so he ended up getting a fitting out of a older kind of factory pump, and it seemed to stop it. But yeah, it's just a pain because every time you kind of undo that, you know, you dump all your fluid everywhere. So I'm just going to undo that and probably dump what's left of the fluid everywhere. Hopefully I've got most of it out into my little container over there. And I don't know what I've done with the spanner. Of course I left it out over there on that trolley. But it might be easier to actually get it undone from down here than up the top. Kind of can see it better. Can I get my arm up there? Might be alright. Probably is easier doing it this way. much thread is on this. There we go, getting somewhere. Yes. Okay, so we have our high pressure line back out. Time to go and investigate this fitting and see what's going on with it. Alright, so I'll just take this apart. Wondering whether I need to kind of recut it, or whether the little aluminium collar inside there is marred in some way. I don't know where that is anymore, but it's still in there. Okay, she didn't want to come out. Precision parts alterating. It's kind of hard, probably hard to see, but I think the little aluminium collar is actually not seated down properly into the PTFE liner inside this. So as for how I'm going to get this off, I'm not too sure, but oh, there we go. Yeah, so if you can see down inside there, you can see that the PTFE liner, ow, damn it, doesn't go to the end of the collar, so might have to pull all this and try again. Yeah, so I'll give this a new clean cut, and the cut looks a bit crooked as well, strangely, but it shouldn't be. So we'll just cut about, I don't know, 10-15 millimeters off it, and we'll try again. Some tape on there. Ouch. Because everything's covered in ATF at the moment, it's so nice and slippy. Ow. Alright, you can see all the crap that's landed in there. I'll just have to give that a clean out, I reckon, before I try to get a good seal. Okay, so I've got that seated way down in there better. As to whether I can now get this on over the top. Tangled up. hopefully that is it. Yeah, definitely was able to get that seal to seat further down, which hopefully that was my problem. You know, learn something new every day. Just going to give it a real good flush out. Should be alright. Just let that dry out and set about putting it back together. I might just check that all my other fittings are tight before we do this though. So I'll give this a minute. Just hang it there. Okay, so just trying to sort out my undercar hat. Tightened up a couple of things, retightened the fitting at the pump. Had a little bit of movement in it, but it had a little bit more at the rack, so I've just given them a little bit of a pinch up. Also noticed the power steering line was a little bit weepage. Not power steering, what do you call it? Transmission cooler line was a little bit wet, so I just kind of pinched those up as well. So we're ready to put this mamma jamma back in. Hopefully that's it, fingers crossed, you know, for me help, hopefully. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I'm gonna go and have a cup of coffee. It's freezing at the moment, like this, for some reason we just had a big cold snaps come up the country and it's been cold, like not Canada cold, but like shock to our system cold, so it's kind of just sent everyone away into hiding. And I've got no heat down here in the garage, so yeah, it gets a bit nippy in here. My hands are freezing, so yeah, so I'm gonna have a coffee with my wife and then we'll come back and we'll put that back in. Yeah? Okay, let's do it. Okay, so coffee has been drunk and it's time to reinstall this somehow, if I can figure out how I had it in here to start with. I'll get that started. This is incredibly awkward one-handed. Knew I should have put the camera somewhere else. Now the magnet's stuck to the axle stand. Close enough. Right, I'll just go and get the top one started. I can probably do that. No. Okay, so that didn't work. Where is it? There she goes. Right, I'll try and get this top one started, and then I'll go back down the bottom and do the bottom one. I don't want to do any cross threading. Oh, there we go, I think. Nope. Come on. Okay, so underway. I'll leave that loose for now, so it's got wiggly room for adjustment, and we'll come around the bottom side. There's my knees, stuff organised so I can get under there and do it. Back, I'll just put that up there. Try and get this lined up. Is it going? Is it happening? Yes. Hey, I think that's it. There's a bit of wiggle in these things, eh? But just make sure my return is tight. Not really. Yeah. These are swivelly ones, so you do get a bit of movement in them, I guess. But hopefully they'll be alright. This one, back into this one, tighten it up. Is that clearing everything that it needs to clear down here? It's not rubbing on anything. It's just close to that engine mount bolt, but she clears it. Especially now that it moved. It should be good. One more for good measure. Yep. How did I do this last time? Come on, get in there, barmaid. Ow, it's really difficult. Of course, everything's still covered in ATF. Oh. Oh, that one wanted to just land in there. Ah, stuff in my eye. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Doesn't want to stay squished up. Oh, you dirty, 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 dirty dog. So that one, if it was just one, it would be easy, it would be done by now. Yeah. Right, come on. Get in there. Gotcha. Right, where's the nut? Ow. Get that started. And rearrange these lines so they're... Oh, I wonder if I should tip that one down a bit. Hang on, be back in a sec. Okay, back again. I think. Where's that sitting now? That's better. Alright, just got to tighten these up and we're out of here. If I can find the tools that I need. No, that's not going to work. Oh, what am I doing? Socket's trying to move. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Socket back. Just a bit of a top off on this. Re-bleed the system. Should be good for a cold fill. Hopefully it's a bit much. Alright, so we'll just do the whole twisty turny for however many. 20 on either side. Three. 4. 9. 9. Wash machine 10. 10. 11. 11. 12. 12, 13, I've lost count, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, washing machine, 19, 20, 20. Okay, here's my wheel pointing straight ahead. Right there. Okay, she dropped a little bit, but not as much as I thought she was going to, so she's actually on the full mark, which is the hot mark. So I need to get some of that out of there. How did I do that last time? I had to siphon some out. I haven't got one of those like suckery things, so I had to kind of use a bit of hose and washing machine. So yeah, I have to use a bit of hose and kind of siphon a bit out, spit it into a jar. It's not pretty. So, when I've done this in the past, and this is not the first time I've overfilled my power steering reservoir, I just use this bit of clear tube so I can see it coming up the tube. That's the washing machine still. Should switch it off. And then basically just suck it up and spit it back out and blow it back out. It's a bit of a process because the tube's real skinny. Alright, I'll just check it now. Oh, hang on. Okay, so we're just on the cold mark, actually just above it, but that'll be all right. It's probably still gonna leak. Okay, so that's my method for getting extra ATF power steering fluid out of the reservoir when you put too much in. You know, backyard kind of method, but it works as long as you, like if you had a wrong coloured hose, if you had the wrong kind of, you know, if you had a black hose you wouldn't see it coming and you might end up ingesting some, which I wouldn't recommend. I haven't done it myself, so yeah. But anyway, just use a little bit of hose that I had kicking around that I used last time I did this. Still got oil leak at the rocker cover. But yeah, so that, anyway, we'll address that today as well, hopefully. So that's hopefully that power steering leak sorted. I'm going to drop it back down on the ground now and we'll kick it in the guts. It's been nearly a week, 6 days since it last ran, and we'll do a cold start, see what it does, you know, from a, you know, a good week of sitting, and hopefully it still goes. Washing machine. Got my new timing light hooked up. Haven't fired it yet, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Got the door open so we don't get fogged out. Cold start. on just over 20 psi on the oil pressure. Doesn't really move much with acceleration, which is weird. Temperatures coming up. Started good. I've just blocked off my vacuum advance, sitting on about there. According to this, bang on 10 degrees on the initial without the advance hooked up. Let it warm up a little bit more, and you might sort of see where what this dial-in gauge goes on about as far as the all-in numbers sort of thing. But still got that rattle, which I want to have a bit of a diagnose with as well, hopefully. Okay, so got this timing light, right? Bought it on the line on Trade Me the other day. Plugged it in just now, and it's like lit up and everything, and fired up the truck, and it was working, and then it wasn't. Now I can't pick up a signal off the off the lead. I've tried all the leads, trying it all different places, and back to front, forward and backwards. I even took it apart, and it's just not picking up a signal. So I'll try my other timing light and just see whether I'm getting a signal with that one. And yeah, but this is my life, man. The other day I bought a heater for work, right? I bought just a little heater for in the studio, and not far from work, bought it, took it back to work, plugged it in, switched it on, went for a minute, switched itself off. Would not switch on again after that, so took it back to the shop. They tested it, did the same thing. They actually got it to run again, so they exchanged it. It seems like I have to buy everything twice. It's just disappointing. get junk. I even paid up for the heater too. It was a name brand. It wasn't my usual path of no name junk, but this was a name brand heater, and it just was dead out of the box. But yeah, anyway, I did do a little bit of twiddling around with the mixture screws, just sort of wound them in and out and whatnot, tried to get a bit of a mix. I am getting, it's quite fumy, so it may be burning a little bit of oil, or I'm not sure. It could be just because I'm overcarbed. I've got a 750 Edelbrock on this, what I think is a stock 350, so it just could be pumping a little bit much in the way of gas oleine into the engine. Doesn't seem to bog when you give it some revs. Still rattling, but that seems to be coming and going. It might be self-healing with any luck, but yeah, anyway, I'll get my other timing light on there and make sure I'm getting a signal to that #1 lead and whatnot off that one. But I wanted one like this because it's got a rev counter on it as well, so I can, you know, get the old tachometer working and see what kind of idle it's sitting at. But man, it's just so frustrating when you buy stuff new out of the box and it just doesn't work. Could be user error. Okay, so plugged in my other old timing light, and yep, got a signal, and it's sitting at about 12 degrees initial at the moment, so I don't know what is all in. It was bang on 10 according to that new one when I first hooked that up, and it was working, so it was bang on 10 degrees on the initial at idle. And I was about to kind of like start seeing where it was at on the all-in type of scenario, and then the timing light stopped working, so pain in the ass. think I know why this motor might have been taken out of its previous host. She's a bit blue smoky on this left hand bank, and that rattle, I just was trying to listen in with the old bit of air hose jammed in the old air hole and holding it down there. That is most prominent coming from the back of the block and on the bell housing and on the sump sort of thing. It's about the same. So there's something down the back there that's like nagging, and it seems to be getting a little better, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's rockers, but yeah, it's it's rattly, but it goes. How well it goes, I'll take it for a bit of a drive again and see what she's like. But tutooed around with the mixture. She, I think I said that actually kind of worked out all right. She gets up and down in temperature, and you can see the thermostat opening and closing and stuff. She gets quite hot on the gauge just before it opens. It's like up over 200, maybe about 220, I think. I have to have a proper look. And then the thermostat opens and she drops right back down, and the fans, you know, do their thing. Fans didn't really seem to be kicking on their own, so I've been having them just running on the override sort of thing for now, which I tend to do a lot when I'm driving this thing anyway. I'll kind of pull up into traffic and I'll just hit the fans and leave them running while we're, you know, doing slow driving type of thing. What else was there? It's just, it rattled. I'm so disappointed with that bloody timing light. It's kind of thrown me off my game, man, you know. Still got a hell of a leak on the back corner of this rocker cover, so I might let it cool off a little bit, and then I'll whip those covers off, and I'll put a bit of Permatex or something on the cover to gasket side and see what happens. It kind of feels like it's coming up over the gasket. Looking at how it's, I can actually feel the gasket under my finger, but it's landing right there, you know. Don't really know, like the oil is starting to dirty up a bit. The oil was super black when I took it out of this thing, so could be getting a bit of blow by on one of the bores sort of thing, oil coming up into the bore, which would explain the purple smoke and probably explain the black oil. So yeah, could have a bad ring, worn ring, you know, cracked ring. I don't know, we'll have to see how much it chews through the oil and how quickly it turns it black. But yeah, we'll let this cool off and then pull those covers off and see if we can stop it leaking oil, because it is actually leaking quite a bit, and it's pooling, like dripping down, you know, across the filter housing boss and down the filter onto the exhaust, and, you know, fuming out the garage. Worries me a little bit. Curiously low on petrol at the moment. Still got that shit in the back there. Yeah, she was driving okay, so. But yeah, anyway, I'll let it cool down and we'll see if we can fix that bloody oil leak. Okay, so it drives along alright, shift's nice, seems fairly smooth, just a bit smoky on this left hand bank. Like I say, don't know what that's about. It's got a rattle. As far as I can determine, it's down the back in here. I can hear it most when I put my stethoscope onto the back of the block or onto the bell housing. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments. I did a bit of YouTubing and Googling and stuff like that, and could be a cracked flywheel or something like that. I didn't see, oh sorry, flex plate ring gear. I didn't see anything when I had it off, but you know, could be oil pump. Still kind of peaks out at about 25 psi. The gauge is real slow to come up, either that or it's real slow to build oil pressure, so don't really know. But she's running on fumes at the moment, so I can't really do too much more kind of test driving until I get some gasoline. But yeah, for now I'm going to whip these rocker covers off and see if I can stop that bloody oil leak, because it's leaking quite a lot, and that's where all the smoke's coming from now. So far my power steering is holding together. Can't see anything of these drips and stuff from me filling it, but let's have a quick squeeze under here. Sorry, get you sideways. There's a bit of a water leak, but I can't see anything dripping off that power steering line down there. Hopefully you can see this on the camera, but yeah, we are dropping a heap of oil out of that rocker cover, so that's got to come off. Quite happy with where the idle mixture's sitting at the moment, I think. And yeah, and we've still got to put the bonnet and stuff back on as well. So let's pull these rocker covers and see if we can get it to stop leaking. Okay, so this is the back corner that's been leaking a lot. So what I'm thinking of doing is gluing with Permatex this gasket onto the rocker cover. Hopefully that works. Okay, just having a look at these heads. This one corner here has kind of been ground smooth. It's not all kind of textured casting like the rest of it. So I'm wondering if this is just like a, you know, factory thing, or you know, got oil in that area. Whether that's my leaking kind of point, is this smooth bit here. It's got smoothness to it. Could be a bit trickier to get kind of even pressure on my cover in that particular part, you know. So don't know what I'd do about that, but I don't really want to kind of glue the rocker covers on with silicone and shit like that, because that's just, you know, Murphy's Law. I'll have to take them off again at some point. Where is it? That's this is my corner that was doing the bulk of the leaking. We've got a couple of gnarly bits on this cover. Might need a bit of hammering and dollying, I think. marred up my paint. Dang. So that's my back leaky corner. Is there anything going on here that looks odd? Not really. What's that? Weird smelling stuff. Brush a little of this all the way around and I'll glue that gasket on with this. This is a non-drying gasket maker sealer stuff. So it's supposedly oil resistant and fuel resistant and stuff, but hopefully this will kind of just get everything to seal down a little better than it has been. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't really have to do this. And get my gasket. I wonder if that little dent in the corner is actually pushing it off. I can't get the gasket to sit down properly with that dent there, so I might just have to address that quickly. Yeah, that should hopefully do it. Next question, should I put some on the other side of the gasket? This is going to get messy, I know that, but alrighty, so putting Permatex on a gasket like this, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, so don't take this as a how to seal up your rocket cover gasket type of deal. It's just something I'm trying to see if I can get it to seal up. Putting these these are little square head screwdrivers in there, it just helps getting the holes lined up. I learned it. Help. There we go. Notice there too, I'm getting a little oil leak coming out of this manifold bolt right into that little valley there. I've mopped it up a couple of times, but I wonder if I should pull that bolt or just leave it. Maybe I'll just leave it. What do you guys reckon? Should I pull that bolt, Permatex it or something and then retorque it, that one? Or should I just leave well enough alone? It's just a little leak, but it'll be one of those constant things, you know. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments and see what we can do, whether you think it's a good idea to pull that bolt, put some Permatex on the threads and then drop it back in, or leave it alone. Okay. Where's that Pickup? There it is. There somewhere. Go by feel. There it is. Okay, just draining all the water that's currently in there. Come on. Why does it want to drain? Oh, I'll take the cap off. That'll help. Dipstick. There we go. Am I getting it in there? Yeah, right. So, draining all the water in that out of it, or the bulk of it anyway. And I'm going to put some Peak antifreeze that's green. So it's environmentally friendly. Strangely enough, like I've seen this a lot on American and North American YouTube channels and stuff as a good go-to antifreeze coolant sort of solution, and strangely enough they sell it at one of our local hardware stores, but they don't sell it in our parts shops, you know, like Retco and Super Cheap Auto. They don't sell it, but Mida 10 does. So there you have it, and it's a lot cheaper than our parts shops, and NASCAR people use it, so it must be good. Vice Grip Garage uses it. I've seen Puddin from Puddin's Fab Shop use it. But anyway, yeah, so that's a concentrate. So I have to mix that 50-50 with distilled water. And yeah, get some coolant in there and should be pretty much good to go. And then yeah, don't know what else to say. Put that back on there, put this back on here while I'm waiting for that to drain. If I can find it. Come on, come on. There we go. This thing weighs a ton, eh? Actually, I don't really like it that much anymore. It's alright, but when I first bought the 383, I had all this kind of shiny stuff on it. I thought, oh, look at that pretty motor, and now I've kind of, yeah. Don't mind the orange blob, but some different coloured rocker covers or something would probably make it look a bit nicer, but this is just the temporary 350 until we figure out the 383, but I don't know when that's going to be now. We're sort of experiencing quite a significant downturn in work at the moment, so unless I find another hustle that actually generates income, the old 383 might have to go on the back burner. Yeah, because that's sort of spending money related, whereas carrying on with this, I have most of the supplies I need to carry on with the Area 51, so I don't need to do a heap of spending. But yeah, enough about my problems. Apparently it's a global thing though. I'm seeing people in my industry all kind of moaning all over the world about how quiet it is, and it's just, yeah, government's making decisions for us which impacts the working man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, wait for that to drain and then we'll chuck some Peak antifreeze in there and might go and have some lunch while that's happening. Okay, so just refilling the old radiator and cooling system with 50-50 mix of this Peak coolant. Normally I just use Prestone because it's available. No other reason than that. Where I live, even though I moan about getting cold, we don't really get like kind of below freezing type temperatures and stuff around here. Gets close, sometimes a little bit below, but not enough to sort of freeze the water in your block and crack it or push out your freeze plugs and stuff. I like to use antifreeze for its anti-corrosion kind of properties as much as anything, because I just hate seeing rusty water in the cooling system for some reason. I don't know, it's just It's just a thing. You know what I'm saying? You on? Yep. We must be getting close now. This is the second full jug of 3 litres. Yeah, so I just finished doing this, then I might have to shoot out and go and get some gasoline. So I kind of want to take this for a slightly longer run. See how it sort of heats up, cools down, all that kind of stuff, with a bit more mileaging, you know. And I want to get all the parts out of the back of it, so they're not kind of all rattling around and making noises and freaking me out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'll just finish this off, and then we'll be back. Okay, got me 20 litres of 95 on 383. I used to run it on 98 or 100 octane stuff that we get around here. But yeah, I didn't want to try this on 91 just yet. I'll run it on some 95 and see how it goes.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always looking for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Hey guys, so going on a slightly longer test run. starter motor and just make sure she's all good. I can't remember how to do that. It's been a long time since I did it properly. That's the first time I've had the gauge kind of temperature gauge off that port on the head, and yeah, it just, I imagine it would get hotter there way quicker than it would anywhere else, you know, like it where I used to have it on top of the manifold on the old aluminium intake. I imagine it probably takes a little longer to get up to temperature at that point, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it used to be on top of the intake manifold, my temperature sender, now it's at the head, and it just seems to get, it got like scary hot at that point. Like, yeah, no shit, it was 280 degrees and it didn't seem to want to open. Now that it seems to be holding pretty consistently, so the thermostat must just be staying open, and the fans are on. The fans also don't seem to be coming on automatically, which is again kind of a bit spooky. Leave them on for now, okay, until we can investigate that. Unless I've got them wired up wrong or that sensor's cracked out, I don't know, but okay, so seems to have stopped that leak in that corner, but maybe started one over here. Ow, ow. It's going to be a harder one to get a bearing on, and also the oil pressure little jing dig ding down there is weeping now. Yeah, summary, kind of does run quite smooth, other than that weird racket and that other clang clang noise. Don't like how hot it got off that gauge. I'm wondering maybe I'll just, you know, I know they run more efficient with the thermostat in there. I might try maybe replacing that one, you know, and normally runs a 180, ran a 180 that was in there, I think, with 383, and that's the one I put back in there. And but that got like scary hot. It was almost at 280 degrees Fahrenheit on the gauge. It just about peaked out that little Chinesium gauge. Didn't like that. and then it kind of dropped. It's like, oh, the thermostat's opened, and it's like, sweet, she's away. But then it came back up and peaked again. So whether I have got an airlock in there, because I actually didn't run it up with the cap off, I just topped it off and put the cap back on. Could be the problem. Maybe I'll try and do that again once it cools down. Take the cap off, run it up, get it to open and bubble over and spew all over the floor. At this stage, I think my power steering stopped leaking. Hopefully, steering feels good. It's you know, it actually feels quite lighter than it used to do. Used to do. You know what I'm saying? Before. Yeah, but still smoking and stuff. There's still, it keeps burning off oil off the header wrap stuff, which is a bit of a pain. So it kind of, yeah, and that weird clangy thing. So I'm gonna have to be doing a little bit of rolling around on the ground looking for witness marks up under there, see if I can see where it's been hitting, but not today, my friends, not today. I've just put all this here for now. I've still got all the heads over on the bench. Don't know what I'm going to do with it all until I can get it to an engine builder. I don't know when that's going to be. Just, you know, financial reasons, you know, like it's going to cost a bit of money to get that 383 gone through and, you know, machined, and any replacement parts, cam, pistons, rings, bearings, all that kind of stuff. It's all going to add up to, you know, minimum of a couple of grand in parts alone. And then that's just what I know's damaged, you know. It's like if there are any valves and things like that that are problematic, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this video. As always, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing for those of you who have subscribed. For those of you who have not, get in there and hit the button, hit the notifications bell if you want to get notified, and like, share, spread it around, and help my little channel grow into something else. We've hit 1,000 subscribers now, so we're just gonna go up from there, you know. So, but I need to organize some shit and get back onto the Area 51, and I want to put those red wheels on it and just see what it looks like on this as it sits. And also that means I hopefully won't get Flatty McFlat constantly going flat on my Area 51 project. Yep. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today and this video. Till next time, take it easy, and don't forget we're on Instagram and Facebook, and peace. See ya.